Hey everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for this video. I'm really excited for it. We've got some NHL logo concepts here, some redesigns, some renditions of teams that are just completely new, and that's as a logo fanatic, as a jersey collector and fanatic, seeing something new, seeing something redesigned is awesome. Now, Sawyer reached out to me on Twitter, and I'll link down his links down below, his Twitter and his Instagram. But he designed these. He made these from scratch, and he didn't make them in Photoshop. He didn't make them in Illustrator. He didn't use any kind of software. He literally drew these with his hands. So all the logos that you're about to see are they're hand drawn. So it's even more impressive. So Sawyer, thank you so much for sending those in. And now I've ranked these 1 to 31. I'm going to go through them 31 to 1, which I always do if you're familiar with my channel. Least favorite to favorite. And give a little bit of criticism, and maybe inspire you guys to maybe consider doing the same. And if you got some drawing skills, give it a go. All right, let's get into this. In 31st position, I've placed the Edmonton Oilers. It's kind of a combination of a couple of their elements that they've used in the past. Now, the head is a little bit new, but it makes sense based on the team name and the location. Obviously, Alberta is a big oil province in Canada, the biggest oil province in Canada, if not the only. And it's not bad. None of these are bad. I love the fact that they're all different. This one, to me specifically, just felt like it was missing something a little bit. I don't know if it was a little bit more dimension and detail in the oil drop itself, where it was just kind of like a flat orange, maybe something on the outside of it. I couldn't really place it, and if I was to draw this, I would never even be able to come close to doing anything even remotely nice as this. So me giving criticism on this is maybe a little bit unfair, but I don't know, I just kind of felt like it was missing something. In 30th position, I've ranked the Pittsburgh Penguins redesigned logo. The creativity here is really good. It's a logo that's contained in this as a black stroke, which you kind of have to do if you're going to put something on a jersey like this. If you look at the back of the feet and the speed lines or whatever, the fact that they're separated and there's white in behind, you can't really put that on a white jersey. You need to contain that, and he's done that in a black stroke, so that can be white on a white jersey, but outlined. So the fact that he knows to do that tells me he's very intelligent when it comes to design. So kudos there. I feel like it's a little bit cartoony though. It's intelligent. It's creative. Steel City, I get it. The Penguin looks a little bit mean, but it's almost not daycare, but the kids water park. I feel like a little bit. And 29th, I've ranked the Dallas Stars logo. I really like the current redesigned official Dallas Stars logo. So any new concepts I see out there, I'm usually fairly critical of because I am such a big fan of the current one. This one's not bad though. It's a little bit too like Lone Ranger or Cowboy for me. I don't know, I'm just not feeling this one specifically. In 28th, I put the New Jersey Devils. I've seen some redesigned New Jersey Devils logos from some other designers, which I just preferred more. And there's nothing wrong with this one. It's very stylized. I do like it, but based on my recent experience of seeing some other designs, I just prefer those more. And that's really the only reason that this one is where it is. In 27th, I put the Montreal Canadiens. Now, I am a Montreal Canadiens fan. They are my favorite team. And to redesign the Montreal Canadiens logo is almost, if you go in a completely different direction, which this is, it's almost like burning a Bible or something. Like it's not offensive, but it's almost something that you don't do. Now, as a Montreal Canadiens fan, like I said, I kind of want their logo to be redesigned because I like change. I like new things. But this one specifically, I get the representation here. I get the fleur-de-lis in there. You've got the Canadian flag or the maple leaf. I think that's a little bit too Toronto Maple Leafs. It looks very much like the 90s Toronto Maple Leafs logo. Obviously, it's red and not blue, but I kind of get that same look. I don't think that the traditional Montreal fan would like this logo. I like the attempt at the design, the creativity, but I think it's maybe a little bit too different and a little bit too close to the Toronto Maple Leafs logo. In 26th, I have the the Winnipeg Jets, and this is a really creative design. You've put a new plane in here versus the other one, because I think they use the CF18 in their current logo. This one is a CT114, I think it is, which is their training jet, which is what the snowbirds use. And that's what it kind of looks like with the wingtips there. But up above you have what looks to be, if my aviation memory serves me correctly, I think those are called canards, the smaller wings up front on the actual fuselage, which is not on the CT-114. So I don't like that aspect of it because it's not specifically or exactly correct as far as the plane, but maybe you're going for a different plane altogether that I'm just not aware of. But it's really creative. The hockey sticks in there, the afterburners, or the Canadian flag makes up that part, which is really creative. You got the lettering in there. I just don't like where the canards are on that specific part of the logo. I would probably remove those or go. I don't know what I'd do, but I just find it a little bit distracting. I almost feel like it's a different shape than the rest of the plane, or a different element. 25th, I've got the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I'm a huge advocate that the Tampa Bay Lightning logo needs to be changed, and I quite like this. I would just move that L, or that lightning bolt at the bottom, so TBL, Tampa Bay Lightning, the L down a little bit. The fact that it's overlapping the B, I find it a little bit busy, a little bit distracting, and that's really the only criticism here. I would just move that down a little bit. 24, I've ranked the Calgary Flames. Now, this is a throwback to a previous kind of logo that they used with the horse head logo, but something really creative here that he added is the fire coming out of the nose looks like an F for Flames. So I really like that. I think it's a little bit too big, though. It's a little bit too... It feels a bit off on its own. So I'm not really sure. And I've never really been a fan of the horse head logo to begin with. So maybe I'm being a little bit too critical on this one. In 23rd, I've put the San Jose Sharks, my second favorite team. And this is really creative. I like it. I just don't like the white space in the middle. Now you have two sharks fighting over a puck with a bite out of the puck. Incredibly intelligent and creative. I really, really like that a lot. But I feel like maybe there's just a little bit too much white space in the middle there, and the actual shape that the orange makes. I don't know if my mind's not seeing it. I don't know if that orange outline is supposed to itself create a shape of something, but it kind of looks like a whale shark a little bit, or I don't know. I just think that maybe I'm not seeing it, or maybe it's just not there, and I'm trying to see it so hard that I don't know. But again, just a little bit too much white space, I think. And 22nd, the New York Rangers, again, an advocate of trying to get that logo changed. I'm not a big fan of the text that goes along the bottom. So I do appreciate this, that he's added a little bit of creativity here. He's kept the N and the Y for New York, but he's added the Empire State Building up there. I feel like maybe it doesn't balance right or something, because the N comes way off to the left, but the Empire State Building just goes straight up, and it just doesn't balance right for me. So that's really the only reason why it's in the 20s. 21st, the Chicago Blackhawks. And although I quite like this, I think to me it looks a little bit more like a secondary logo. That's really the only criticism I have here. I have no specific design or element criticism, just the fact that it looks like a secondary logo. And if I move on to the next one, 20th, the Florida Panthers, really the exact same criticism. To me, this looks like a secondary logo. I really like this. I would buy a T-shirt with this logo on it, but a jersey, I really feel like they should keep the current one that they have, or go back to the original one that they used with the cat that did that. But to me, this is a beautiful secondary logo. In 19th, I put the Vancouver Canucks, and you have elements here of their past, which is really cool. I quite like this. I think for me though, the ultimate Vancouver Canucks logo is that black and yellow or gold skate logo, and nothing has ever gone above and beyond like that for me. So I'm usually pretty critical of new Vancouver logos, and this is kind of an example. In 18th, I put the Washington Capitals, and there is serious creativity here. You have, I can see the Capitol building. I can see the eagle and I don't know the name of that other building, the Washington Monument, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. But that makes up kind of the feathers of the eagle head, which is pretty cool. He looks angry. The Capitol building is the color of a beak of an eagle, which is correct. I think it's just maybe a little bit too busy where the feathers are supposed to be, but completely original, very unique. I like it. Even though it's ranked 18th, I do like it. And 17th, I put the Ottawa Senators, and I really do think that the Ottawa Senators should go back to maybe their heritage a little bit with that O. Now we've seen it in other jerseys that they've used in the past 10 years or 15 years of their secondary third jerseys. But this one kind of combines that with a little bit of their current logo and a little bit of their previous logo with the head there. I think the only criticism I have here is the darkness of the body. It feels a little bit like a floating head. I'd like to see a little bit more detail in the actual body because it kind of blends in with the building in the background there. In 16th, I have the Nashville Predators, and I really, really like these colors. I think these are the absolute perfect colors for the Nashville Predators. I wish they had a jersey that was this color. It would be so beautiful. I would love it. I think this looks a little bit too cartoony and not realistic enough or not angry enough. There's just, I don't know if it's the cheeks here a little bit too big or something, but it just doesn't look right to me. So, but you freaking nailed the colors. Awesome. 15th, the Arizona Coyotes. And again, my issue is kind of a little bit in the face, but the rest of the logo is amazing. The ears make up the A for Arizona. Starts and ends with A, and then he has that as the ears. Incredible. Like, really, really intelligent design here. I like that a lot. I even like the color choice here. There's just something going on with the nose, I think, for me. And number 14, I put the Philadelphia Flyers. Again, a really smart decision here. You've taken the Liberty Bell and you've kind of cut a little bit of a piece off of that, and now it makes the shape of the P for Philadelphia, which is really cool. You've kept with the colors, which is awesome, and you've got a crack in the middle of the bell, which is accurate, I believe. But then you have this like hole, which I don't know if it's just me, but I see a face in there. So I don't know if that's intentional, if that's supposed to be like a precedent or something like that. But I do see a face in there. Let me know in the comments if I am right. And 13th, I put the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit's one of those logos, kind of like Montreal, that you maybe don't want to touch and kind of completely redesign. However, I really like this design. I'm not usually a fan of word marks or word mark logos, but I really do like this one. It represents the city correctly, the Motor City. You can see the wing in the back there for Red Wings, and that whole shape with the two wheels kind of makes a car. So it's really cool to see a unique original design like this. Number 12, I put the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I do think that Toronto doesn't really fall into that category of Montreal and maybe Detroit, like I just said, logos that you can't touch. I think you can touch the Toronto Maple Leafs logo, and this is a really good attempt at a redesign here. You've got the CN Tower in the middle, which is very representative of Toronto City, and you've kept the shape of the Maple Leaf. You've kept the colors. I think this is just a really good design. I can't see that Maple Leafs fans hating this so much that they would refuse to buy a jersey or anything, even if this was a secondary logo. It's pretty cool. Next, I put the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, I really like the fact that the Carolina Hurricanes have this, or a very similar logo to this on their black or third or alternate jersey now. I'm a huge fan of that, and this looks very, very similar, if not better, so I had to rank this pretty high on my list. Well done. In 10th position, I had the Anaheim Ducks. I kind of went back and forth on this one. I wasn't sure, because it was so different, if I maybe it was a little bit too different, but there's a lot of creative things in here. Number one, you get that kind of almost original duck head there. You've got the A on the chest, which is the Anaheim, the A for Anaheim, but it's still in the shape of the current logo, which is the duck foot. And then you've got these blades of grass coming up, which the duck is looking through, which is cool. But then those blades of grass are taped with hockey tape to form a stick. So really creative here. The only criticism that I would have is the coloration, or maybe the water. It looks a little bit like poo. So maybe I choose a different color there or something, but pretty cool design. In 9th position, I put the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm not a huge fan of the Columbus Blue Jackets logo. It's not bad. I think I kind of go back and forth with it. I think every couple of months, I look at it and I really appreciate it, but it's a little bit busy at other times, I feel, and I kind of get sick of it. So I like to see something a little bit new here, and Sawyer's done that. Really cool design. What's supposed to be a gun is a hockey stick with, I think they call it a bayonet or something, the knife on the front of the gun. blue jacket represents what the team was originally created for, and yeah, it's just pretty cool. Number 8, I put the Buffalo Sabres, and I think this color combination pays respect to the Buffalo Sabres' originality and what the colors they use now, but just with a little bit of a tweak. And I think maybe the face is a little bit flat, but I really like this design overall. I think I can see, if this was digitized, I can see how modern this would look, but still be simple at the same time, but still pay homage to the original Buffalo Sabres logo and use those elements. So I just thought this was a really, really smart design. Number 7, the Los Angeles Kings. And if you guys have been following my channel for a little bit, you know that I'm really not a fan of the current LA Kings logo. So this one here, this design that Sawyer did, was a bit of a throwback to maybe considered one of their more silly logos that they had for a little bit on, I think, a jersey in the early 90s or mid 90s or something. And honestly, I quite like it. I like the purple. I like the gold. I wish they'd bring that back. And it's creative. The L and the A kind of make up some teeth in the mouth. Los Angeles, obviously. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I liked it. Number 6, the Boston Bruins. And if you guys know, I'm not really a fan of the spoked wheels. So any new rendition of that B in a different design is pretty cool. And this one is a perfect example. You've got the bear claw coming on the side, ripping through. So you've got those shred marks in the B, but you still, you're still paying homage. You still have that B, that classic, iconic B. So he did it right here, I think. Number 5, the New York Islanders. Now, I might almost consider the Islanders to be in that category of Montreal and Detroit. Even though they're not an original 6 team, it's a logo that's so iconic and so well known that attempts at other logos by the Islanders haven't really gone that well. The N and the Y with the stick, and then you've got the fisherman logo. So it's a risky thing to do, but to me, this is a very smart logo. You've got the outline of Long Island. You've got that fisherman, which I really like. So obviously, maybe I'm a little bit biased here. So the colors are correct. It's easily recognizable. I think it would look really good on a jersey. Even as a secondary logo, this would look pretty good. So either or, main logo, primary logo, or secondary logo, even a tertiary logo or something. I really like that. Number 4, the St. Louis Blues. And like I said earlier in the video, I'm not really a fan of textual or text logos. This one is primarily text, but it's done in a very, very smart way. You've got that saxophone there, which makes the S and the T, and for, you can see it, St. Louis. The colors are correct. It's, I think it's a little bit busy, but not busy enough where if you were looking at it from far away, you wouldn't know what it was. I think you would know what it was. The top, now that I'm just looking at it, I didn't see this before, but the top almost looks like a duck head or something. I have a smaller version here and then a bigger version here. I'm just kind of looking back and forth, and I see it on both, so maybe it wouldn't look good from far away, but still, I really like this logo. Well done. Next is the Minnesota Wild, and I mean, it's hard to get better than the current Minnesota Wild logo. I really, really like it. But you've taken the shape of Minnesota here as the outline. You have the red in the sky. You have the yellow of the sun. So you're keeping all the same logos of the current logo, and then you've got the green in there as well. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking back and forth. The small and big again here. You've got this buck or whatever that is there. I really like it. I don't think it's a moose, but it looks good. I quite like this. Number 2. Okay, he's playing to his audience here a little bit. You guys know, if you've been following the channel, this is basically my favorite logo of all time. I love Colorado. It's my favorite state. I love that sea. I love the mountains. I love the color combination. I don't really need to say much more. It's going to be my top 5 every time someone submits something like this to these rankings. And first, I put the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'm honestly not a big fan of the Vegas Golden Knights logo. Now, with that said, the jerseys and the logo have grown on me a lot. However, I still think it's a missed opportunity. The Golden Knights, and you've got the logo that you do. It's clever. I get it. It's grown on me, like I said, but think about the possibilities. Think about the potential. And this, I think, shows a lot of potential. Now, it's a little bit cartoony. However, if this was digitized properly, I think this would be maybe the perfect Golden Knights logo. You've got a knight in there who is gold, holding a sword which becomes a hockey stick. It's contained in the shield, which kind of represents the current Vegas Golden Knights logo. So you're not changing it too much where it's completely different and people are going to hate it. I think the majority of Vegas Golden Knights fans will like this logo. At the very least, maybe consider it for a secondary logo. So I just had to rank it first. I think it was really creative. And I mean, all these designs are amazing. Such a good job by Sawyer. And Sawyer, I really appreciate you submitting these. If you guys want to let me know your favorite down below, that would be awesome. I read all the comments. If you want to go ahead and rank these yourself or something in the comments, that would be awesome too. Tell me your top 5. Tell me the ones you didn't like. Whatever you want to do, that would be awesome. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the like button. Share this video around. I really appreciate all you guys' viewership and yeah, coming back every day. So if you want to see more videos like this, I'm going to be ranking a ton of stuff and doing a lot of fun stuff on the channel. So if you could join me by hitting that subscribe button down below, that would be the biggest help, and I thank you so much for that. All right, hope you guys having an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios, guys.